Welcome to the NBA Playoff Edition. My name is Abby for Wednesday, May the 7th. We have two games in the association. The odds are courtesy of oddslogic.com. It has the latest line moves through the over-unders, um, the point spread moves, and the injury report. It's oddslogic.com. Again, we're going to go through these games one by one. There's only two games. I have, let me just see here one moment. So yeah, we're going to go over the games here one by one. The first game we're going to look at here is going to be New York at Boston. This one opened up at -9, total to 11.5. That's what it opened up as. So now it's gone up to 10.5. We're even seeing some 11s right now on the board. And it's gone up to 211. And some books has come down to 210, but still right now 211.5. So we're going to look here at the situation in Boston and New York. We're going to look at where the public and sharps are for this game. And right now, as we look, public's all over Boston, and there's a bit of resistance on the total. The total, it's kind of split. So there's a bit of resistance on the total, but the public's all over Boston. Overwhelmingly amount of people on Boston. They're expecting a bounce back, so no surprise. And like I said, a bit of resistance on the total. So it's kind of split. So we're going to look at the injury report for both of these teams. So as we see here, and as you can see here, we have no injuries for the Knicks. They're injury-free. However, for the Celtics, Chris Porzingis, day-to-day with an illness. So we're not sure if he's going to play tonight. He may or may not play. Still up in the air. And Sam Hauser, day-to-day with an ankle. So he's kind of 50-50. So that's the injury report so far for the Celtics. Now, as for the game itself, as we look into this game further, for the game itself, we're looking head-to-head. So we're going to look at the last four meetings. So the last four meetings here, and this is including, actually the last five meetings. That includes game one. So the last five meetings, it's been 3-1-1. So 3 overs, 1 under, and 1 push in the last 5 meetings for the over-under. So 3-1-1 to the over. Now for the side, Celtics have dominated, but the Knicks covered. They won game one. So Boston had a 20-point lead. Kind of became complacent, lost their edge, lost their focus, and lost all momentum that they had in game one. So we do expect them to bounce back. Will they cover the 11 points? That's another question. I do have a play on this game. I have a client play on this game. For me, I would recommend, as a recommendation for this game, I would look at, now I have I have a client play for this one here. But for a free play and a recommended play, we would recommend, let's see here, I'm going to look at this now, and I'll give you the recommendation. So the recommendation that I would look at here myself, I would look at a first half, let me see here, and this is going to be from a total perspective, looking at the total. We're going to take a look at the total in this game. Let's see. I would look at a first half under. I would take the. I would recommend for you guys to take the first half under 108 and a half. That's what it is right now. In game one, the total was the total. Let's see here. Yeah, it ended up at 106. It was 106 in game one. The two teams combined to score 106 points, so it's under the total in game one. So I'm anticipating the same thing for game two. I would take the under in the first half, under 108 and a half. That's what it is right now at FanDuel, but shop around for the best number. But that's the recommendation I would go with, under 108 and a half in the first half. Knicks in Boston as the recommended play. Now I have a client play on this one. So if you want the actual client play, you have to go to sportsmemo.com, Abby Sports Picks for the client play on the Celtics and the Knicks. I'll talk more about that later on, but that's my recommendation for this first game, for Knicks and Boston for the free play. For game number two, we're going to look at OKC and Denver. We look at this one here, opening up at minus 10, total 229 and a half. So we've now seen gone from 229 and a half. We're seeing some 230s come up right about now. We're seeing some 230s on the board here. Yeah, so the 230s are starting to pop up here in this situation. But the majority is still 229, but still starting to see some 230s here and there. So we'll look to see where the public and sharps are for this game. Public all over OKC and the under. They're on the under in this game. Yeah, they're on the under, if you can believe it. So we'll look into this one further. We're going to take a look at this game further. And we will look at the injury report for this game. So the injury report is as follows. Denver D. Holmes out with an Achilles. He's been out for a long time. And Topic out for the season with an ACL. So no major injuries. They've been out for a long time, so no major injuries there. So for the game itself, let's look here. So we're going to look at the last 5 games. Look at the last 5 games between these two teams. That includes game 1. So the 3-2 to the over last 5 games between these two teams, including game 1, and went over 229. So we're looking at the side here now. Denver, they won game 1 miraculously again. This is the second time Denver's won in OKC. So they've won 2 times in a row in OKC. That's incredible. Last 2 meetings they've won in there, and they've gone over the total. They won over the total twice. That's interesting. So let me see. I'm going to look at this game further. We'll take a look at this one. We'll give out a recommended play for this one as well. Let's see here. I will take a look at this here right now. Yeah, I have a client play for this game as well. I have a client play for this game. There's definitely a client play here. Definitely a client play. But the recommended play I would go with. Um, hmm. The recommended play I would go with. I would take the over 229.5. That would be the recommended play for this game. Over 229.5. Reason why is because, as we showed you before, 3 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over the total. 3-2 to the over the last 5 meetings. Actually, let me see here. Yeah, last 5 meetings. Yeah, 3-2 to the over, including the last 2 meetings in Denver. I'm sorry, last 2 meetings in OKC have gone over the total. Denver's won, and they've gone over. So I'm going to take the over in this game here. I'm going to take the over again for the second game. Gives the game 2. I'll bet the over. And the market to me is moving in the right direction. I know the public's taking the under, but I disagree with the public here. I believe this is going to go over. I disagree with the public here. I recommend the over 229.5. The markets are already going to, some books I mentioned are already going to 230. So I would take the over 229.5, 230. I would take that. That's what I would do here. I like the over here. 229.5. All right. So that's the play I'm gonna go. That's what I'm gonna go with there. And that is it. That's it for the NBA playoff edition. So we gave you 2 plays. We gave you a first half. Sorry about that. That's yesterday. That was a couple days ago. I showed you on the screen there. So we gave you a first half under Knicks in Boston under 108.5. That's the first half play under 108.5. And then the second play we gave you over 229.5. Denver OKC. So we gave you 2 totals for the recommended plays today. Now, like I said, I have 2 client plays for this game as well. I've got 2 client plays for this game. So if you want the client plays, like I said, go to sportsmembo.com. Go to Abby Sports Picks. Now we do have a 7-day pass for 7 days for only $29 for myself and any other capper at sportsmembo.com that you can take advantage of. You get daily picks. The 7-day pass includes daily picks from any of our cappers. I myself, I'm going to have 3 client plays, possibly 4 client plays. I'm going to have a WNBA preseason game. I have a WNBA preseason game 4%. I have a 4% WNBA preseason game total. This is an early morning game. I have this starts 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have that game going. And I'm going to have the 2 NBA games. Like I mentioned, 2 NBA client plays, 4%. New York, Boston, Denver, OKC. I have that as well. And I have an MLB play. I have an MLB play. A total for it's a total for the MLB play. So 4. It'll be 4 plays, 4 client plays today, guys. I'm giving you 4 client plays. 4 client plays I have available at sportsmembo.com. Abby Sports Picks. Remember, it's a 7-day pass. You get daily picks from all kind of sports. For me, you'll get it from the W. You'll get picks for myself if you choose me, myself as a capper or any other capper. But if you choose me, you're getting picks from the WNBA. You'll get some MLB, and you'll get some NBA picks. So you'll get those kind of picks from me. Those are client plays. I have those. I have 4 client plays today. I'm gonna have 4. All right. So again, whether you guys fade or follow these picks, it's up to you. Again, good luck to you guys. Hope you cash some winners. Have a big Wednesday. Stay true to yourself. Stay blessed. Stay humble. Believe in yourself. Good luck to you guys. Let's have a big Wednesday. Let's have a great day and cash some tickets. Good luck. Peace.